Yeah, hi, good morning. Raza again in our next session, next podcast uh, with Nasser. And of course, I know that you people couldn't see us from last couple of weeks, even I guess 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Nasser was out of town, so we decided to continue this session once he'll be back. So today we are again here. So how are you doing, Nasser?
Very well. Alhamdulillah. No complaints.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we miss our viewers. We've
Yeah,
not been here for a while, so it's good to be back.
good to be
Good to be
back.
back. The weather in Dubai is amazing,
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's the best time to be in the city. So,
exactly. So yes, I mean Dubai. Yes, as hotter as people have heard about it, and so this was. I mean, weather is really, really good to visit, to stay, and to enjoy. And anyways, so Nasser, if I'm not wrong, today is your session, which is just upcoming at 12 noon.
uh, sorry, say that again.
Session. I mean, your session is, I guess, just about to open.
Yeah. The London session, you mean, by
Yeah,
12
London.
noon.
Sorry.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah.
London
Yeah,
session
the
is.
London session. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one because already we had a couple of data this morning from the UK,
Mhm.
which we already have seen the effect in the London markets pre-open.
Right.
If you watch the UK 100, the FTSE 100,
Mhm.
which is the index that tracks the 100 biggest companies in the UK, that
Right.
has already had a very strong move this morning.
Right. As
And
I mean, even I don't know why. Just from last couple of days, you can see even the moment in the market. Nasdaq, if I'm not wrong,
Mhm.
Nasdaq already have broke its last highest. So
Yes.
what I'm still expecting, it might cross even 17,000,
Mm.
which is most probably can be done in very short span of time. However, what do you think? Like in currently this session, London session, what can be impact on any particular instrument?
Majorly, we will be looking at the pound sterling
Mm,
because that's obviously the most directly correlated currency to
mm.
the UK. And as most people already know, CPI is one of the major data that moves markets.
Yeah.
And that's because uh, most central banks, their major focus is inflation. They're
Hmm.
trying to control inflation with interest rates. So that's why the CPI, which is the consumer price index, by the way,
Yeah.
is a key focus element for the central banks. So we had that this morning, and it came out negative for the UK.
Right.
So the pound sterling is already down. We expect to see a little bit of recovery, but generally, I would expect further bearishness for the pound
Right. Right. Right.
based on that data.
Hmm. So, what do you think? Like the investors, usually what happens, especially the intraday traders, are because there are two type of traders: intraday or long-term traders.
Yep.
So, do you think that when this session opens, people should enter into the market if even if they are intraday traders, so they should scalp or they should just take advantage for that particular moment or those candles and
Yeah.
then grab the opportunity and just pull out their benefits and just rid out from the market.
Well, personally, I never recommend scalping
uh
because I feel like it's 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 uh, it's it's extremely difficult to scalp.
yeah.
I never recommend scalping. However, that's not to say that it doesn't work.
Hmm.
Maybe a very few people know how to do it and know how to do it well.
Yeah, because you have no idea. I mean, the market is going on which side.
Exactly.
As we can see that even currently the gold, eventually gold is very unpredictable, and the 90% people they trade in gold, right? So from last couple of days, even I myself, what I was assuming at to fall from 2000, 45, 46 to down
Hmm.
towards, I was expecting it at least at 230, But I guess it just went up again from 2035,
Yep.
and currently it's 2043 and all. So I don't know. I mean,
Exactly.
again, it's going to
Exactly.
break 2051, and it
Exactly.
might reach again 2085, 70 plus, and
Yep.
then where we are looking gold right now.
Yeah, so I mean, it's always whatever style you use, it's always recommended that you look at it from a top-down approach.
Hmm.
Never look at one time frame and base your decisions on that. Even
Right.
if you do trade intraday or the
Mhm.
smaller time frames, the ideal thing is to look at the higher time frames and see what the big picture is about,
Hmm.
understand where prices are likely to go, and then you want to trade in that direction.
Right.
In my opinion, right now, gold is in a region of a little bit of uncertainty. Silver seems to be having a little bit of clearer price action. Personally, I think gold is bullish for now,
Bullish. Yeah.
in the medium term
Bullish.
at
Yeah.
least. So I think gold is bullish in the medium term. So personally, I'll be looking to buy on dips.
Right.
Yeah.
So, from of course, that what we were expecting, that if it goes down and 2037 or 2035, that was the best. I mean, buying point,
Yeah.
and so on. 40, 41 also another buying point. So right now, 2043, it is trading somewhere here, and still it is bulls are coming,
Yeah.
very strongly bulls are coming. I mean, you
Yeah.
can see. So which means if it breaks 2051, which can happen, because yesterday night it just fall back from 2046 or something.
Thereabouts, I think.
Yeah, right. So again, if it's just fall back, so we mean eventually he's getting rejections from the
Yeah.
upside, right?
From the resistance level.
Yeah, from that resistance it's getting rejection. So which means if it goes down, so however what I'm expecting, that it might reach again 2020, at least 27 to 25, this range it can
Yeah.
come very easily. Otherwise what we can see, that if it breaks again 2051, then 2070 and 85.
Yeah. So personally, as soon as gold hit 1973, I started looking for buys.
Seriously.
Yes, and my bias for that was unconventional.
Mhm.
And what I mean is, naturally, you don't try to catch a falling knife.
Mhm.
It was strongly bearish about 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
right? But when I zoomed out at the big picture, you look at the weekly charts, you look at the monthly charts, then you realize that, wow, it's just been the first week of December and gold had done such a huge move.
Yeah.
It had already surpassed the ATR that it usually does within a month or within a week. The ATR is the average true range,
Right.
which is the average amount that gold would move within the span of a month.
Mhm.
As of the first week of December, gold had already surpassed its monthly ATR.
Right.
So that already shows signs of exhaustion.
Mhm.
I knew that it wasn't likely that it was going to continue falling for the rest of the month. I knew we was most likely going to get some sort of retracement or reversal.
Right.
Which one of them we were going to get, I didn't know. But at that point, I started looking for buys. So as soon as we got one single day's candlestick
Mhm.
price action that was bullish, I then started looking for buys.
All right.
I came into this week flat without an opinion about gold, because then I felt like, okay, is gold now bullish, or is it still bearish, or is it flat? I really couldn't tell.
Mhm.
So I had to wait a couple of days to observe the price action. And as based on what we saw, based on the way the markets closed yesterday, I'm confident that we're likely to continue to see gold higher for the rest of the week.
Right, perfect. So, I mean, okay, the gold is because 90% people prefer to enter with the gold because it gives you really good return, and at the same time, it just wipe out your account in very short span of time as well.
Absolutely.
So, apart from this gold, what do you think? If, like, as you said, this is really, it's very, very much predictable as this moment, especially. It's bullish. Sometimes it shows it's gonna still bullish. Sometimes it shows it's gonna be bearish, and so it's just creating confusion. So my point is, if we are now looking for this goal, so apart from this, as today's Wednesday,
Mhm.
right? So the oil inventory tonight, and so do you think that oil is another instrument which can be very beneficial for intraday traders?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it all depends on your tolerance for risk.
Hmm.
You know, personally, the three major assets I look at is gold, oil, and the Dow Jones 30.
Right.
Those are the major instruments I look at, and I find them very interesting because they're all very correlated based on the dollar.
Yeah.
Of course, they all also have their individual fundamentals that drive each of these markets. But yeah, if you're looking to diversify your portfolio from gold, crude oil is definitely something interesting to look at.
Hmm.
Um, the US index is also something very interesting to look at. That's, I mean, the Dow, maybe the Nasdaq, or
Yeah.
the S&P 500. So these are good instruments you could add in the mix. Another good asset which moves fast. I mean, for someone who trades gold, it means that you're looking for assets that move fast. If you're
Hmm.
looking for a currency pair that moves fast, GBP JPY is also a good option for you.
JPP,
So
JPY.
yeah, that's
Hmm.
also a very good option for people who are looking for quick action. You
Hmm.
know, so yeah, the crude oil markets have been very interesting lately as well.
Hmm.
You know, through a couple of weeks we've had it very bearish, and then last week we had a reversal, and
Hmm.
we've seen a continuation of the bullish reversal this week. So I'm also bullish on crude oil right now.
On crude oil, yes, crude oil definitely. From last even couple of days, it is also rising up, and expectedly 2080. Do you think? Sorry, I mean 80. Uh,
For WTI,
yeah.
which is the US oil.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting, no, maybe not this year, obviously, but let's say early next year, I'm expecting levels at around 80 to $82 per
80 to
barrel.
82. Yeah, this is
Looks
most
about
probably
right.
it can
Yeah.
hit. Okay, so again, but if we have a portfolio, including gold, including oil, and as you said, GBP, JPY, and as well as Nasdaq or Dow Jones.
Mhm.
So, do you think this kind of portfolio, if we have a 100K account, so it eventually, because what I know that yes, this strategy really works. I mean, that don't put all the eggs in just one basket. So just I mean, diversification is also source of, you know, really good income, good earning,
Yeah.
if you have a if you have diversified your funds. uh, so what do you think, like in current situation? Let me just spare this gold instrument. I don't want to get my mind stuck into the gold, because when we start trading in gold, we just get stuck with those moments which all of a sudden which happen. So I just want to keep myself relaxed, and I just want to make some money right now. So what do you think, that what kind of portfolio with 3 to 4 instruments which can be very helpful to make some money, either in just one day or a couple of days, and which I can believe that yes, these instruments are really gonna give me something out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on your mindset
Mm,
and your eventual goal,
mm,
and the time frame you have in mind as well. If you
yeah.
have 100K which you're looking to trade actively and
Mm,
make active income from, um, then I would recommend that you stick to just a few basket of instruments, maybe two, three maximum, um,
enough.
enough. If you're going to trade intraday,
Mm,
in and
yeah,
out of the
intraday, yeah,
markets,
exactly.
it's best to focus on a few assets and just actively trade on those. if you're looking to invest long term, then I would definitely not recommend that you put both gold, crude oil, and Dow Jones in your portfolio because they are all correlated, and maybe 50 to 60% of the time they are driven by the US dollar.
Yeah.
So if you have all of those in one single portfolio for an investment long term, you're basically duplicating risk.
Right.
So what I would recommend is you find some stocks, some interesting stocks to put in the mix. You put some FX pairs. You could put maybe one or two cryptos, BTC, Ethereum, it's fine. And then definitely gold or crude oil would be, since you're already taking independent stocks, then there's no point using the Dow Jones as well or the S&P 500. You could just put maybe Apple, some interesting names, and then I think that would give a very good balance for a portfolio over time.
Right, right. Yes, perfectly. Uh, exactly the same thing. So, all right, that is fine because the people, the commonly what people used to ask two, three questions. These are most common questions. That okay, what capital required in order to take initiative or in order to just enter into the market, and what is the best time to enter into the market, and third is what like whatever margin you're gonna use. What do you think as a free margin? How much capital should be as a backup?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer, really. It depends. Obviously, your margin is correlated to what leverage you use.
Hmm.
I always recommend you use very low leverage,
Very low. Yeah.
very little leverage. Personally, I don't use more than 1 to 30 leverage on my personal accounts.
Mhm.
1 to 30. Keep it simple, keep it safe.
Yeah.
Because we always talk about human nature, right? It's in our inherent nature to be greedy.
Right.
Some days, no matter how
Yeah.
disciplined you are, some days you just think that you've seen something that's too good to be true. Like, no, come on, man. If I can make $1,000, why would I want to make $100? You know. So if you allow yourself that space to be reckless, one day you will be reckless.
Hmm.
And the best way to protect yourself from yourself is to use low leverage. So if you have an account with a 1 to 30 leverage, maybe 1 to 50 max, that definitely would then have an effect on your free margin.
So eventually he gonna buy less quantity
Less
because with
quantity.
more leverage, what happens? People buy more quantity, so it becomes more risky.
Exactly.
So yeah, but what I think, I mean, as per my suggestion, you can say, or what I used to say, that whatever capital you have in your account or the margin which you're gonna use, keep at least 2 to 3 times as a free margin in order to support your trade, because eventually what will happen, this market has to go up and rebound as well.
Exactly.
So the point is, what happens sometimes with we put a stop loss. I also recommend people that always trade with by putting take profit and stop loss. But again, well, if you have good enough free margin, so I don't think so that you need to keep that particular stop loss, because what happens sometimes it just hit your stop loss and get back.
Yeah, absolutely. But
It make you feel very bad at that moment. That
what you need to do is to learn how to use your stops correctly.
Yeah.
Definitely, there are days. Remember, there's no style that would earn you 100% win rate in the markets.
Mhm.
What everybody should be hoping for is find a style that benefits you more than it harms you.
Yeah.
So if using a stop loss, maybe 20% of the time you have those situations where it hits your stop and then it reverses. But 80% of the time, it would actually save you from a very, very bad situation.
Yeah.
So therefore, it is advisable you always use a stop.
Always.
Speaking of free margin, my recommendation is I think about it in terms of how much are you risking per trade. If you I never recommend anybody risk more than 2 to 3% of their account on any single trade. So if you have $100,000, for instance. 1% of that is $1,000.
1,000.
2% is $2,000. 3% is $3,000.
So we can say at the simple, like more the fun, lesser the risk. That is
Exactly.
another part.
Then you can make good value for your money. I mean, if you risk $1,000 and you make $2,000, $2,000 is good money by any standard,
And I guess this
irrespective
money,
of where
this
in the
this
world.
$100,000, if you have in your account, you have no need to put even stop loss. So you just need to decide a particular point that this is my TP, like take profit. Eventually, it will hit because it is not gonna be zero. It's not gonna be fall in
Well,
just one night.
Well, that would depend on how much risk you take. Even $100,000 can go to zero overnight.
It can go to
if
zero.
You take too much risk.
Yeah, exactly.
You
This
know,
is what
so
I'm saying.
yeah.
Like
So
if-
it's always best to know exactly. Psychologically, that helps. Using a stop loss, it helps you know where am I supposed to get out, even when things go bad.
Hmm.
Where is my worst case scenario? That's what the stop loss serves.
Yeah,
You
so
know.
that I mean that this is what I said. When it hits your stop loss and then it returns, it it makes you feel very bad. What have I done? I wish I could not just
Exactly.
set my stop loss here.
So I mean, what you could do in a situation like that is always use a higher stop loss than you think you need.
Yeah,
So if you see, let's say you think like your stop loss should be at a certain level, maybe 50 points, then use a 100-point stop loss.
right.
That would save you from.
And for that, you must have that enough capital
Capital to be
in your
able to
account,
maneuver.
which can take you at least up to that particular stop loss.
Exactly.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
right. That's right.
So I mean, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today. I mean, we've talked about some very interesting topics.
Yeah.
We intended to keep this very short because we have a meeting we need to attend very
Yeah.
shortly. So I think we've been over 20 minutes already. So I hope that they got good value from this session as usual. As we always say, it's about keeping it real, keeping real talk, and trying to give you best value for your time. And hopefully we would like to see you with us soon on the AUS Global platform, trading your money, earning, and getting good value for your time and
For
your
your-
effort.
Exactly.
Basically.
So thanks for watching us and thanks for joining us. And please do recommend us. Any query, any question, or any suggestions from your side. So Mr. Azad Dubaiwala will be always here, and I would say just do take very good care of yourself. And hopefully we're gonna come by next Monday
Inshallah.
or Monday or
Inshallah.
Wednesday again. Will come. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your time. Have a
Thank you
wonderful
so
day.
much and have a wonderful day, guys.
Thank you, Nasir.
Cheers.
Pleasure.